Spoiler alert. Meet Levon Cade, an ex-Royal Marine commando who is currently working as a construction foreman in Chicago. Cade has a very close friendship with the Garcia family that runs the company. Besides Joe and his wife Carla, their daughter Jenny also helps them run the company while also attending her college semesters. Levon would visit his daughter Mary occasionally. He struggles to gain custody of her after his wife takes her own life while he was deployed. Mary is currently living with her grandfather, Dr. Roth, who blames Levon for his daughter's death and tells him that he was an unsafe person for his granddaughter to be around with. In spite of his accusation, Mary gets along very well with her father and understands that he is doing his best. They head to the cafe to eat. Here, Mary expresses that she's mad at her mom for leaving her. Levon says he is hurting every day too. Later that night, Jenny goes to a party with her friends to celebrate the end of the semester. Inside, a criminal couple, Viper and Artemis, are scouting for girls to bring to their client. The couple follows Jenny as she helps her drunk friend to the restroom. But as soon as she left the restroom, the couple grabs her and drags her away into a van. On Monday morning, Jenny's parents tell Levon that their daughter has been missing since Friday night. Carla Garcia tells Levon that the police do not work these cases based on the information she receives from her cousin, who is also a police captain. Carla begs Levon to find their daughter. They know he used to be a Royal Marine and are willing to pay a large sum of money for his service, but Levon says he is a different person now. Later, Levon visits his friend and a fellow former soldier, Gunny. Here, Levon talks about the dilemma with Jenny. Gunny tells Levon that he had better be fully locked in if he decides to go look for her. The more they talk, the more Levon understands the need to go find and save Jenny. He then went to visit Jenny's parents again, and he tells Joe that he appreciates him for giving him a chance to start a new life. He thanks Joe for being patient with him and promises him that he will bring Jenny home. Levon starts tracking Jenny's last known location, which leads him to the bar. Here, he monitors the bartender's behavior closely. Then, he checks the restroom's passage and sees the camera wires have been cut off. Looking for more clues, he finds a pearl necklace in the alleyway. Levon knows for sure that this is the place where Jenny was kidnapped. He then follows the bartender and starts interrogating him. The bartender refuses to give any names, but warns Levon that the people he is looking for will wipe out entire bloodlines if anyone messes with them. Suddenly, two strangers drop by his apartment. The bartender starts yelling for help. Levon uses the bartender as a human shield and shoots them dead before leaving with their money. Later, a high-ranking Bratva captain named Wolo Kolisnik discovers the three corpses. Levon watches him and his men closely as they enter and leave the building. He then infiltrates Wolo's home and ties him to a chair that is tied to a rope while hanging over a pool. Levon threatens to cut the rope if he gets too loud. Wolo tells Levon that he is messing with a very powerful mafia organization, but Levon does not care about his threat. Levon then returns the money he took earlier and asks about Jenny's whereabouts. Wolo, realizing what really happened, starts cursing his son Dimi for bringing this mess into his life. Before leaving, Levon cuts the rope and lets Wolo drown in his pool. He is later found by his brother, Simon. After seeing the security camera footage, Simon sends his sons Danya and Vanko to go after Levon. In order to find Dimi, Levon decides to contact another old friend who's currently working for the DEA. His friend suggested a meeting with a local drug lord, Dutch, in a bar named Hattie's in Joliet to get to Dimi. The criminal couple happens to work here, and Artemis is very suspicious of Levon. She sees that he is hiding a gun and sends her associate Doey to deal with him. Levon, however, shows him a large sum of money, implying that he's here to buy drugs. Doey leads Levon to Dutch, but Artemis whispers that he is a cop. This information makes Dutch bring out his goons to deal with him, but Levon quickly mops the floor with them, even threatening to kill one of them. Dutch stops the fight before he loses one of his men. He does not believe Levon is a cop anymore after seeing that he does not hesitate. He recognizes Levon is a former soldier like him from his tattoo and straight away develops a mutual respect for one another. Pretending to be a freelance drug dealer, Levon tells Dutch that he needs a large amount of drugs in the near future and starts lying by saying that his previous connection suddenly disappeared. Therefore, he needs a new supplier as soon as possible. Dutch gives Levon instructions to meet with Artemis and her associate so they can begin their business. With this deal done and dusted, Dutch starts trusting Levon as a legit dealer even more and tells Levon that he is now ready to have a meeting with the main supplier. Levon will finally meet the man responsible for Jenny's disappearance. Meanwhile, Viper and Artemis bring Jenny to their client. These two are secretly working for Dimi as traffickers without Dutch's knowledge. The client prepares to take advantage of Jenny thinking she is unconscious, but she turns out to be awake and bites a huge chunk of his cheek off. He orders Viper and Artemis to get her out of his place. The next day, Levon finally meets Dimi. Dimi asks for his ID and tells his guard to do a background check on him. After confirming that Levon is just an ordinary guy looking for a supplier, Dimi agrees to do business with him. Later, Levon finds more evidence about Jenny's kidnapper Viper, and after finding out that he actually works in Hattie's, he decides to scout the place in secret. Artemis, however, catches him through surveillance cams. She immediately calls the two brothers who are looking for him. Realizing that his position is compromised, Levon steals a bike and rides into the woods. After a brief chase, Levon crashes against a police cruiser. Unfortunately, the two cops are on the criminal's payroll. The cops hand Levon away to Danya and Vanko. These two incompetent brothers start torturing Levon, but he retaliates. One of them ended up shooting their own driver, which leads into a massive crash, dragging them all the way to the riverbank. Levon then grabs a gun and shoots them both. He escapes their van and pushes it into the river. Simon later discovers the bodies of his sons at the morgue and declares that their feud with Levon is now personal. He tells his goons to convene the war council. Meanwhile, Dimi is not pleased with Viper and Artemis for letting his client get hurt. He tells them to take care of Jenny permanently for making him lose a ton of money. At the war council, Simon tells the other leaders about the situation with Levon and wants revenge. But his brother, one of the leaders, doesn't want the feds' attention. He also wants to know why Levon is doing this. He suspected that his nephew Dimi is involved in this, and suggests Simon use his two best operatives, Nestor and Karp, to look for Dimi. And soon enough, they were at his hideout. Simon informs Dimi that his father drowned to death, and his two cousins are also KIA. He asks Dimi if he notices the figure from the picture, and Dimi's face is in shock. They start sending thugs to attack Dr. Roth's house. Levon gets a call from school that Dr. Roth didn't show up to pick Mary up. Sensing something is wrong, he goes to the school quickly to pick up his daughter. Then he rushes back to Dr. Roth's house and finds it on fire. He quickly rescues Dr. Roth from the flames before firefighters and medics arrive. Dr. Roth blames Levon for the violence that follows him, saying that he was right all along, but Mary reminds him that Levon saved his life. Worrying about his daughter's safety, Levon takes Mary to stay with Gunny. Gunny and his wife live in a secluded location, and not many people know that he and Levon are friends. Gunny promises to keep Mary safe until the storm has passed, and Levon decides that it's time to confront Dimi. Gunny also suggests that Levon should go all out this time and takes him to his armory room. Before leaving, Levon gives Mary a gift and tells her to keep it safe, for he will be coming back for it soon. He hugs her one last time before leaving. Meanwhile, the criminal couple are driving through the woods to finally take care of Jenny. She fights back once again and manages to cause their car to crash. Using the broken rear door glass, she is able to cut her feet free and escape. She runs until she sees a cop car. Unfortunately, these are the same corrupt cops. They bring Jenny back to the traffickers' compound. Viper and Artemis prepare to finish the job without leaving the place this time, but the client calls them again. He wants Jenny back and is willing to pay $1 million this time. He also tells them to bring her to Dimi's trap house this time. Fully prepared, Levon infiltrates Dimi's hideout and takes out his guards one by one. With nowhere to run, Dimi takes a woman hostage, but Levon quickly takes care of the situation with a bullet through Dimi's hand. He then asks about Jenny's whereabouts. Demi confesses, but Levon does not trust him, so he takes him along to make sure he is not bluffing. When they reach the trap house, Levon asks Demi why he does these things, and Demi answers that money does not care, and somebody else would take his place anyway if he had chosen a different path. Unable to forgive Demi for trafficking not just Jenny but other women too, Levon shoots him dead. Inside, the creep is summoned by Artemis to meet Jenny one more time. And just as they prepare to violate her, the compound is shaken up by Levon throwing a grenade. Levon proceeds to slaughter the Bratvagoons one by one. The criminal couple and the creepy client start to panic. Meanwhile, Dutch and his gang show up to the trap house as well. They try to look for Levon, but he takes out all of Dutch's goons as well. Eventually, Dutch meets Levon face to face and attacks him. They proceed to have a knife duel, but Levon is too slick. He takes out Dutch quickly and honors him respectfully. Levon then hears Jenny's voice and cautiously proceeds to find her room. He shoots the client dead instantly, and Viper starts shooting aimlessly until he runs out of bullets. Levon then goes after Viper while Jenny locks her legs around Artemis's neck. They both manage to take out the criminal couple. But before they escape the trap house, Simon arrives with Nestor and Carp. The two corrupt cops also arrive, but Carp starts spraying bullets on them, not knowing they're on the same team. Levon approaches the entrance more carefully, but they start spraying bullets in his direction too. With nowhere to run, he decides to use his gun's camera to take care of Carp. He then uses a grenade to take care of Nestor. With the room all cleared, Levon and Jenny take a motorcycle and escape. Simon watches them bitterly as they leave. He then calls his brother to inform that Levon manages to escape. Simon's brother tells him that none of this was business, and they should move on now. Simon screams in frustration as nobody in the organization will help him in his crusade for revenge. Seeing Jenny return, her family and friends start celebrating. Joe and Carla tearfully thank Levon. He then goes to Gunny's home. Mary is happy to see her father again. Gunny is pleased to hear that Jenny is now back with her parents and invites Levon to join them for breakfast.